Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Mom.
My name is Barry Ross.
Where'd you get all
Um,
this?
I'd like to welcome you to another segment of Mixing It Up. We broadcast to you live on TV 33, on Comcast 20 in most of Detroit. Not everywhere, but most of Detroit. And you can also see us online at tv33live.com. This station has their very own Facebook, a live feed. So if you went to the new TV 33 WHPR and you hit like, and then you're going to hit welcome, you're automatically on, and the Facebook page will appear. The show's going to come on. And then you can type in your name, and you can go to your own page with our show showing on your page and communicate with your friends and us. And I also would like to tell you that the name of the show is Mixing It Up, but I have a Facebook page where all my shows are archived and stored. If you went to Mixing It Up with Barry Ross, and you got to put an on-demand, because it's got an on-demand feature where it has previous shows, and then you're going to hit like, then you're going to hit on-demand, videos will appear, and you could see all my shows. Now, I want you to know that this is not my show, this is our show. This is a community show. This is an informative show. And I bring you the truth. It's not engineered. It's not glazed over like conventional media. I want you to come and call me. Please, these are all 313 numbers. They're floating across your screen, but I want you to know you're welcome. 868-0351, 0342, and 4336. Now, tonight, my featured guest hour in a few minutes, Mr. Sidney Jackson. He has so many hats. I've been talking to him for half an hour. I'm going to let him tell you exactly which hat he's falling under tonight. He brought several other different organizations here that he works with. His mainstay is KFCUS, and it's a children and family focus on education, literacy, employment, and much, much more. They will teach you how to set up an organization, how to go after grants, how to start a 501c3, and how to have a good board, and boy, do I need help with that. And tonight we have a nationwide, very famous comedian, Mr. Bill Hill, and hopefully he'll be here tonight. He's got nationwide acclaim. And lastly, I love her first name, Callie Bradford. You know, when you say, where are you from? And they go, California, but they really say Callie. So she's full of sunshine, and I'm blown away by her name. I love it, Callie Bradford. Now, she's from another nonprofit, Next Generation Fit Kids. Now, check this out. She is a certified nutritionist and a certified trainer, and her organization focuses on, they're committed to reversing the epidemic of children's obesity. Our children are living on McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Burger King, and they're eating ribs when they're 6 months old. Our children have terrible nutrition. You know, I owned Sermon's Clothes in Detroit, and one day I had two 6-year-old kids that were a 42 in the waist. These boys were so heavy they couldn't even make it up the stairs. They had to sit down. I'm glad that she's here tonight. Now, we have for you the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project. We're having a fundraiser. Our organization is a consortium of groups that are like-minded to make a difference in the neighborhoods in Detroit. We board up homes. Man, you should have seen us 10 days ago and saw what we did. The cleanup we had was out of this world. We were on Hall Street, just east of 75 near East State Fair. Check this out. We got interviewed. We were cleaning up the neighborhood. We were boarding up houses. And the young man, David Troop, that gave me the idea, his vision to start boarding, he got interviewed on the news. We let him get interviewed instead of me taking the credit or us. We wanted to showcase this young man, and check this out. Where he interns from school at a dentist office, the doctor called him in and said, David, you're a good kid. You're different. We saw you in the news. We're going to give you $3,000 for school this semester. Now, this kid works 2 jobs himself, doesn't have a father in the home, and he's putting his way through college. Just $3,000 is monumental to him. And I'm going to tell you something. I cried, because if this ain't what it's all about, we're losing our kids. Here's a young man growing up in a neighborhood that's riddled with drugs and violence, and he decides to be good. My God. So listen, this Monday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, McDonald's is 2 blocks from this studio, 14124 Woodward. Mason, John Mason, the DJ, is going to be serving burgers. And I might throw a couple packs of mustard at him when I see him. Because, John, you haven't been calling me back. You know how you are. And Senator Coleman Young Jr., and we have Kevin Lewis from It's a Web TV. These are our celebrities coming out. We need you to donate. Listen, we can't afford to board up all these houses out of our pockets. We want to come to your neighborhood and clean your street up. Not only do we want to board up these houses, we got contractors. We're thinking about eventually coming back, either tearing them down, rebuilding, re-engaging the community. So please come out. And if you can't come out, you can mail us a check payable to the True Oracles of God Ministries. And we're using a P.O. Box. This isn't their P.O. Box. 17301 Woodward, Suite 405, Detroit 48221. This will be repeated several times. Please help us save the city, because our government can't, and they don't have the resources. If you can't make it out to this McDonald's, send in these checks. Please, we encourage you. I just want to tell everybody, we've really lost our way. I want everyone to hear this in the studio, please. You got to hear this story if you haven't heard this. On the news, 2 men in Miami were naked together in a car, laying on top of each other, and one man was chewing off the face of this other man. This is on YouTube. A young man was riding by on his bicycle and called the police, and when the police came, he yelled at the men to stop, and when the man got out of the car, he growled at the police. He growled at the police like he was an animal, and the cops shot at him, and it couldn't stop him. And they had to fire, he had to unload his gun. Now, we're hearing of sick cases all the time. What's wrong with us? Where are we going? My Lord. This man ate off 3/4 of this other man's face. I'm sorry to be so graphic, but I just had to tell you, on top of everything else that we're facing a world that is lost. And I just don't believe it. But without any further delay, I want to introduce everybody to Mr. Sidney Jackson. Sidney, how are you, sir?
Good, thanks. How you doing, Barry?
I'm fine.
Good.
Would you please introduce these beautiful young ladies?
I sure
and
will.
Their titles?
We have Pamela Burton here. She's building out a 501c3, Queens to Queen. And we also have Dr. Sharon Oliver.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, how are
Welcome. Where do you want to take this, Sidney? What
Well,
are you all
I'd
about?
really like to start off with the last few comments. You know, we talk about government helping us, and one of the things that we do as an organization, and let me just tell you real quick, we're a strategic logic modeling business planning organization. We help people take their vision and passion, plug it into the right legal entity, find the organization to make it come to life, and then funding and how do we sustain it in revenue. And one of the things that we're doing currently is that in this economy, which is true of any time that we're in existence, those that have assets in a free enterprise system are somewhat exempt from gentrification. So when we started looking...
What was the word you used?
When people have assets, they are not victims to gentrification. So when we look at...
What does that mean, Sidney?
That means if we've got assets or people in the community have jobs and have savings and are building money and building assets and acquiring real estate, they are not the victims of gentrification. They are currently taking on their own opportunities to grow. You know, America is the greatest country in the fight to come here, and we need to, in our community, get back to the values that our parents and grandparents have brought to us. And a lot of it comes from the church and spiritual. But a lot of it has to come from our older generation of grandfathers and grandmothers telling us exactly what are those things that they did to be successful. And there's nothing new under the sun, and we've got to take that information and we've got to plug it in to best practices that allow us to build something successful. And when we start looking at, capital, money in the community, I was looking at an economist rule that says that if you take the GDP, which is the gross domestic product, and you divide whatever that number is into 70, that tells you how quickly you can double your income or double your standard of living. And in this case, 1 and 2% means that we're going to change things conventionally by 70 years or more than 70 years. So with that being said, if you get 5 years at 5 GDP, that goes in 14 years. So we've got to do something extraordinary. And that means starting looking at entrepreneurism and bringing some smart logic with good values. And then as an organization, that's what we're doing. We're currently working with real estate projects where we're growing multi-dwelling housing. We're part of a Midtown Literacy Services where we're actually connecting kids and young adults and families to reading and writing. I was in a school board meeting, I won't mention where everyone was proud that a 12th grader was finally reading at 4.5 grade level. I was almost falling on the floor.
This couldn't have been in Detroit, though.
I can't say.
Well,
Give me, but I will tell you that it's very sad. And really it means that no longer can we accept and be silent and accept what's going on, and that we all have to get hands on deck to make a difference. So that's what we're doing as a company.
Could you slow down a little bit? I just want to ask you.
Yes.
What would you like the viewership to know? How can do we want to engage people with, what are you asking? What are we saying?
What we're saying is that we need to get entrepreneurs and we need to get people being able to read and write to start their own businesses and grow some assets in the community and acquire property.
To read and write.
Read and write, literacy, learning.
Okay. For those that can't read and write, how can we help them?
We need to get them plugged into those resources through organizations that we're aligned with. We're currently working with DPS and their alternative education programs, but we also have other programs that we would like, for example, tutoring, mentoring. We do that for GED programs.
Okay, if I can't read and write and I'm watching this show, where do I go to get
You
this
need to
help?
dial a phone number and we'll direct you to the appropriate resource.
Do we have a
That
phone
phone number is
Slowly.
800-800-569-0256. And if you need some help with literacy, reading and writing, we're going to bring resources to you and assist. Now, Barry, to answer your next question, is that the literacy and learning, there has to be jobs available for people to make money. So we've got to grow businesses. We've got to grow an incubation entrepreneurial spirit that puts people to work. This past quarter, we grew through 3 new companies that employed 90 people. And when you do those kinds of things, eventually we can make a difference in our community.
All right, let me just ask you on a personal level, if I may. I'm a 45, 50-year-old male or female, and I'm embarrassed that I can't read or write.
That's a toughie.
Okay, so I'm watching this show, and I need help. And I never graduated high school.
Okay.
Some graduate that can't read and write, which is
Okay.
amazing. How can I work past this embarrassment to make even this call? What do you recommend to people that are hurting out here? And with the old adage, we're our own worst enemy. What could someone do to make this call?
Well, answer that real quick. As a quick strategy is, a lot of times when parents can't read and write, their kids have a struggle as well. And the programs are readily available for kids, so maybe there may be an opportunity to kind of help the kids get to that place.
Are they free?
They're free and they're available. And we could spend a whole show just talking about the literacy learning program.
I won't get into it much. I just want to ask you, how many days a week are these programs available?
Well, they're across the entire city. There is, for example, Southwest Solutions, Midtown Literacy Services offers them through DPS and through 21st Century Learning. There's just a lot of options.
Okay.
And what I'll be prepared to is that anybody that needs some help and direction, if they call our 800 number and they are interested on how can they not be embarrassed, we're not that kind of people. And we're about trying to help folks. So all they need to do is make the call. If there's some resistance, we'll walk through those doors with them.
All right, I just want you to know we're going to talk about into this and talk to the beautiful ladies here. We have a Facebook page that's all about informing people on government, on policy, on statutes, bills, the law,
Okay.
murder, rape, violence,
Okay.
dumping in neighborhoods. The official Detroit Empowerment Movement.
Okay.
All these organizations, all these programs you have, I want to post them so people can see.
Okay.
We now, in a short period of time, we got about 1,800 people.
Okay.
And it's growing every day.
Okay.
And this is it's not a social page.
Okay.
It's not about cabarets, parties, and birthdays. It's all community. So I'm going to tell you more about that after.
I'd love to hear that, and we can be really supportive of that. But one of the things I want to close on my piece, so I can hand it over to the other ladies, that I want to give them an opportunity to kind of discuss what their programs are about.
Okay.
Kids, family, community, we have an investment and grant component. We just did a whole host of grant funding for HUD for coordinator service positions, and that needs to go on. But the new modeling with senior homes, there's some new strategic activities. Working with churches, we're currently doing a church real estate development with a clinic and senior home. There's some new strategies that need to be applied that give a multi-layered effect to making projects come to life in this economy. And we want to have the opportunity to talk to clients about that. But with that said,
May I just real quick?
Yes.
I don't mean to be rude. An organization like my friend over here does not have a 501c3.
Okay.
Can he get grants anyway without a fiduciary?
He would have some difficulty, and I would suggest, I'm not recommending, and I'll just tell you, if I had to do a quick consultation, I'm not asking people to start a 501c3 blown today. I think that there's so many of them out there, and that funding is very competitive, that there may be some opportunities maybe to team up and collaborate and maybe do a project under a 501c3, 509A3 type certification.
This good-looking young man, if you get a chance, I'm going to introduce you.
Okay, and I'll be more than happy. Let me just
Okay.
say this to kind of wrap up that piece, if I could, is that any questions or concern or interest about legal entity, funding, grants, helping you with your real estate project, you can call me. I'm at 800-569-0256. But with no further ado, I want to introduce these wonderful young ladies. On my right side, we have Pamela Burton. And Pamela, I'm going to hand you the microphone and go ahead and do your thing.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pamela Burton, and I am the CEO and founder of Queens to Queens Development Center. It's a transitional housing for families, abused women, and children. We also offer different kind of programs to assist them, teach them how to understand where the abuse comes from, where it start. It's usually start when childhood. That's when it first be introduced. We want to give them awareness of it. We also have programs in Queens to Queens to teach them how to get a job, etiquette classes, teach them how to dress, how to sit, how to talk, group sessions, no more pain to new beginnings, just many different programs we have to assist these women and children. But the catch of this one here is kind of a little different than any other institution, shelter facility. This would be in a mansion. And the reason why I put it into a mansion.
Where is this?
Well, this is a first. I'm his client, and so this is what he's going to assist me and help me with the 501c. I gave him my business plan and give him understanding what this vision is all about.
Oh, so you don't have a shelter now?
I don't have a shelter now.
Okay.
But this is what we're looking for, a shelter where women can come. Like I said, it would be a royalty setting. Because we want to teach them Queens to Queens. Because I understand it's they got a lot of organizations in the city of Detroit, and that's fine. And I'm not knocking them down. But I want to do something different. I want to put them in an environment, even though they don't feel like a queen, but I want to put them in an environment they can see they could be a queen.
That's beautiful.
And so we have elegant classes. We pair them basic computer classes. It's 2 years program. After they leave this program, after they leave out of the transitional housing, we also assist them with housing to be able to pay their bills, teach them how to get back to be stable, to be a citizen, have their head up high, give them awareness when abuse comes, how they know how to deal with it, and teach their children how to know how to handle the situation they're in.
And I will tell you that one of the areas that I'm really excited about is that she's doing a lot of this without any help and is doing it currently.
She's
so
passionate.
She's not going to say that, but I'm going to say, Pamela Burton is in that process, that the things she does, she practices, and
You're embarrassing.
we thank God for that.
But
But it's very true. But I wanted to also, without any further ado, because I know we have limited time.
wait, we have a couple more minutes.
Okay.
May I just ask a couple
Absolutely.
questions? We're going to get to you.
Okay.
Right now, currently, what do you have available for women?
Right now, currently, we don't have anything available. We're trying to get a new start. This is a and people to come in and join in with this program God has put in my heart to do. We want volunteers, we need staff, we need locations.
So you're signing people up.
I'll
If
si-
okay. Do you
signing
have a
people-
contact
We
information?
have a contact number, 1-800-569-0256. They can call that number, it'll reach me, and then we can kind of sit down with the individual. I want this vision here to be hand on hand with the community.
Do you have a website?
I have a website. It's
wanna tell 'em?
www.wic.com/no more pains /Queen to Queens. And it
Wait,
kind of
wait,
give you
Say that. Repeat
sure
that again.
www.wic.com/no more pains /Queens to Queens. And it kind of give you all the highlights of what this vision is all about. It tells you about it's just many people on this website. It's a beautiful website. I want you to go and look at it. We're looking for donations, but like I said, it's going to be in a mansion. It's not going to be in no different other entities building. It's going to be in a mansion, the red carpet treatment. It have so much to offer the women and children. As you were saying earlier, a lot of young ladies don't know how to dress, they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to sit. But here we would teach them how to sit and
And
dress.
who would be paying for this?
But we want HUD to get involved. We want private investors, donations, fundraising to get involved in this. And also, it's most important, churches and community.
Now,
We
it
need a
doesn't
community.
matter if their daddy beat them,
It
if
don't,
their boyfriend beat them,
it don't matter.
or abuse is abuse.
Abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, any kind of abuse, but we want to assist them. And most important, to give them awareness.
Okay,
So this was Queens to Queen is about.
very good. Okay,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. And next we have our doctor.
Dr. Sharon
We have a
Oliver.
live doctor.
Well, I want to do, if I could, give a quick kind of like begin for her. Dr. Oliver, because of a lot of the data and research we see going on in the community with disparity of health delivery, but with diabetes and hypertension, a lot of the problems that our community is facing more so than others, it's very significant. So one of our initiatives is through our community outreach is Dr. Sharon Oliver is a great doctor that has a special twist, and I'm gonna let her tell you about that.
Hi,
Hi, thank you, Barry.
our
Thank
pleasure.
you, Sydney. Most people who know me know that actually I'm very shy, but to tell you who I am and what I
Please.
do is that I am a medical doctor. I graduated from Wayne State University School of Medicine. I did my residency at Providence Hospital. I'm very local in internal medicine, but what you realize if you're really interested in healing people is that conventional medicine will only suppress the symptoms and keep that fire smoldering. So in 1995, I took a big risk and a big plunge and started studying and practicing alternative medicine. Herbs and supplements and diet and even more. When we're talking about healing, we're really talking a lot about what Pamela was saying, a lot about what Sydney was saying, a lot about what you were talking about in the green room, in the boardroom, is that you really have to change the lifestyle. You have to be able to have pride in yourself. You have to eat with pride. You have to walk with pride. You have to take your whole body, mind, and spirit and to change it. You asked a good question of Sydney, and I heard him give a good answer. Well, I'm sorry he didn't say it, but I'm going to say it now because you were asking about gentrification. And what I heard Sydney say was that, well, if we really had the money, we would be able to buy all of this discounted land out there. And so it wouldn't be something that is out of our hands. We wouldn't feel as if we're victims. We're taking the pride in ourselves and treating ourselves, our body, our lives, our environment in good health. And that's what I do.
Now, how do you start taking pride in yourself if you're not a kid and you never had it? And this is something that I personally had to deal with myself. And I mean, I went suicidal for 25 years. So if I don't like myself, seems to be one of the major problems in our streets. If I don't care about my life, what significance do you have to be alive? So how do you teach someone to value their body and their life?
You can't just do it alone. And I think that is one of the problems with with the society as a whole. I remember when I was in medical school, and that was when the crack epidemic was at its peak. And I remember my teachers saying, you know, we have no idea what the social significance of this whole epidemic will be. So now we do know. We know we're having children who have problems with impulse control.
ADD,
And
ADHD.
all of that.
Right.
I've heard, I mean, the story that you just told of the man that was, I mean, that
Drugs.
it is. And so those are things that we cannot do in isolation, that we have to have everybody coming together and working together to help.
Like a system.
In the system and even out. One of my clients, and of course I can't mention any names, had adopted a child. And this child was a child that had a crack mother and father, or a mother and father that was on crack. And so, and I had to suggest to this this woman that she probably is going to have a network of people to help her with raising this child.
Sure.
Because the child is a good kid, but there is issues with impulse control. So you can't do it alone. And part of the problem, part of the depression, part of the frustration is because everybody out there feels as if they're alone. And when you have
They're
someone,
unique. Their problem is unique to them.
and when you
Nobody feels like me.
nobody does, but when you start to talk, and I was talking to another person earlier today, when you start to admit that, you know, I really don't know what's going on, I really am, you start to find that, and I tell people this all the time, you're not the only one in this boat.
Right.
And in fact, the boat is pretty crowded.
Right.
So you can find help. You can find people who have tried doing what you're doing and have succeeded, or as Thomas Edison said, I know more than 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb. I know a lot of ways not to try doing what you're getting ready to do.
Let me, if I can, I want to shift for a minute. I have been, for many years I was a vegan, and meaning I never had dairy. I know you mean, but just for those that don't know, never had any dairy, anything alive. It was all vegetable, no cream products, what have you. And I was taking a lot of supplements and minerals. I have an herbologist. I call him like a witch doctor. He makes, he was on my show a couple weeks ago on 7.5 in Conant, and he literally makes everything there in the tinctures and whatever. But a lot of people don't know that taking too many vitamins and too many supplements is not good for your kidneys, for your digestive system. And a lot of times we take minerals or vitamins, you tell me, when we're taking antibiotics or caffeine or pop, and it counteracts.
It interferes
And,
with each
and,
other,
and
yes.
it's one thing to go to the health food store and take a vitamin, but you need to know what you're doing and have someone working with you. Now, my sister, she's been has a chronic pain problem for many, many years. My sister takes, you won't believe this, 12 Oxycontin a day on top of several other drugs. The drugstore she goes to, I'm not going to mention, her doctor and her drugstore need to work together. Just because another doctor gives her a script, that doesn't mean it should go with everything else she's taking. People need to coordinate with the doctors, the nutritionists, and do the right, sensible thing. I was taking my cousin's son when he was a baby. They fed him carrot juice. He OD'd on carotene. His kid turned orange.
Yeah.
He
I've
took,
seen
too much of a good thing, and we say it all the time, is not good either. You have to be sensible, listen to the person that's prescribing, right, and be smart. You know, me personally, I'm a recovering drug addict. One is too many and 1,000 is never enough. So if one vitamin makes me feel good, I'm going to take 10. But it doesn't work like that. And like if you take vitamin C, you can't take it all at once. Right?
No,
You need to
can't.
spread it. You could take probably 20,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C, but you have to spread it out. If you take it all at once, am I right?
If you took 20,000 milligrams of vitamin C,
urinate it out.
you would have diarrhea.
Okay.
So you're not going to do that. But I understand exactly what you mean. And part of what I do is look at where you're trying to Where you're trying to get to with your health. Because, yeah, you can go and you can find something that is supposed to be good. And everything has its good side and its bad side. And if you're not careful, you can cross quickly into the bad side
Sure.
and not get to where you're going. So you really do want to have a plan and a goal to say where it is that you want to get to as far as your health.
And I will say this because I know how important this is. Dr. Sharon probably won't say it, but I will. Is that there are very few in the country that are both a doctor and a medical doctor, and also practice holistic and alternative integrative medicine.
Give them your contact. We have to go in a minute.
There's no other in Detroit, by the way.
All right, I want everybody to just close this out. We got about 3 minutes. We're a little over, but you're too important. It's too much value here.
Oh,
Give
thank
them your
you.
contact information. Tell them the name of your organization who you're with, and then pass it around.
My organization is the Integrative Medicine Institute. It's right there on Woodward near 7 Mile, and the contact number is 1-800-569-0256.
Wait a minute, right near 7 Mile. Exactly where? Not in that gold where the chiropractor is.
Okay, so there is the chiropractor's office, and then there is Dr. Kieffer's office, and just north of her office is my office.
You're literally right near 7. You're like a block off 7 Mile.
I'm in that same complex that
South End.
the chiropractor.
Should you want to give them your address?
18714 Woodward Avenue.
And what
And
do they
that's
need
in
to make an
Detroit.
appointment? You give them the number of your doctor's, your office? It's not an 800 number.
Actually, yes, you can do the 800 number, but also Dr. Sharon also has a website that they can fill in information and start the assessment process. That's
What's the
Dr.
website?
Go ahead.
It's www.drsharon.com.
Okay, let's pass the mic and
Well, I wanted to say drsharonoliver.com is the website. I'm sorry, Dr.
That's
Dr.
easy.
Sharon. And
2
it's-
hours or one?
Yeah, drsharonoliver.com. And I also want to say in closing about KFC in Midtown, we have a summer camp at Wayne State University, and we're trying to finish up. So anybody that wants a scholarship, donate to help. It's a cost of $325 for each of the kids to go the entire summer, go to the NASA piece at Wayne State and get STEM training and have some fun with all sports.
STEM training.
STEM training, science.
Stem cell.
No, this is science,
You got to be specific.
technology, engineering, and math.
Okay, give them your contact information.
That's going to be also at the 800-569-0256 number, and we'll process that. And then, of course, you want to say your contact information again?
Sure. This is Queens to Queens. The contact number is 1-800-569-0256. The website is www.wig.com/no-more-pain/Queens to Queens. And we want everyone to come in to assist this vision God has given me.
Oh, there is one other thing.
We gotta go.
One other piece from Dr. Sharon Oliver, and I want to say this loud and clear. She has an e-pamphlet that she's going to make available at no cost. So for anyone that would like to get this e-pamphlet, because if you have a medical doctor navigating you, that's a pretty good place to start to alternative and integrative medicine. And that's at drsharonoliver.com.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Barry.
Thank you all very much. Stay seated. We'll be right back, everybody, after these brief words.
With a very important message. Are you tired of abandoned, dangerous houses in your neighborhood? Well, no more. Help is on the way. The Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project will be having a fundraiser on Monday, June the 4th, 2012, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the McDonald's restaurant located at 14124 Woodward inside the city of Highland Park, Michigan. Special celebrity guest servers include Senator Coleman Young II, radio personality John Mason, and Kevin D. Lewis of itswebtv.com. All donations will be used to finance the boarding up of abandoned dangerous houses throughout the city of Detroit and Highland Park. And all donations are 100% tax deductible. The following organizations are a part of the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project: the New Marcus Garvey Movement / Black Panther Nation, the Detroit Coalition Against Violence, It Takes a Village, Y'all, True Oracles of God Ministries, and the Better movement. Please make checks payable to True Oracles of God Ministries, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221. For more information, call Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375. Our goal is to make it safe in our communities. The Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project will be having a fundraiser on Monday, June the 4th, 2012, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the McDonald's restaurant located at 14124 Woodward, inside the city of Highland Park. All donations will be used to finance the boarding up of abandoned dangerous houses in Detroit and the city of Highland Park. Please make checks payable to True Oracles of God Ministries, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221. For more information, contact Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375.
It's 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Ladies, good evening. Welcome back to Mixing It Up. We're live. I like my new hair. I didn't know what to do with it. On TV 33, live.com. Please call me. Our phone lines were so crazy. We got all entangled in the phone lines. Right now, in the last couple years since I've been out and about community service, I got close with Mr. Robert Robinson sitting next to me from It Takes a Village, y'all. And where is he? Oh, and this is a great young man. I have to tell you, this man, I don't think he sleeps. I've met a lot of people in the last couple of years, and I don't want to embarrass him. He knows how I am. Texana Hollis, the 101-year-old woman that got thrown out of her house unnecessarily. Her son neglected to make the house payments. He got, and at 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
It was earlier than that.
Earlier than that?
Yeah, it was early. It was
okay.
Early in the day.
I guess I talked to you at 11 about it. I think you told me you're on your way. He went out and rescued this woman. This man was one of the first on the scene at so many instances. What was her name? Baby Brianna?
A little Bianca.
Brianna.
Bianca.
And so many missing people, so many missing young women that were taken. He's been there. And he was, in my opinion, the highest form of advanced security in a group in the day that was the group in the day. And Robert Robinson is just, totally my friend. Listen, tomorrow, Steve Harvey's Hoodie Award, once a year, they give out an award to outstanding community service. And I'm encouraging you to vote for him tomorrow. From 6 in the morning till 6 at night. Where do you go for this?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the link is because people nominated me for it, and
Steve
I'm grateful
Harvey.
for the Steve Harvey Hoodie Award for the best community leader. And people nominated me for it. But the thing about it is that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still out here doing what we're supposed to do. I don't know what the link is. I had it on my phone, but it died. But if you're on Facebook, you can go to my Facebook page. It Takes a Village. And then if you're looking for me, you'll find me on that page. A lot of my friends and a lot of the members have been going through, promoting and pushing this. And I actually want to take time out to thank everybody who thought enough of me to nominate me for this. And I'm going to do everything I can to not let anybody down by continuing to go out to do what I do, because I keep the focus on what it's about. And it's all about the people and being out here doing what we can to work together.
We don't have too many men out here that are true to the game of service. And that's why I support him. Listen, you can go on Google and you can look up Steve Harvey Hoodie Awards. I mean, that's not a problem. That's how I first found out about it. And every day they give out the nominations for different and votes for different aspects of the award. So tomorrow's the only day. When's the cutoff day? Next week?
I'm not for sure.
Oh, the
I know
cutoff
that
is
tomorrow.
soon.
Well, I know that tomorrow is the only day you can vote for the best community leader. I think today is something dealing with a church, with the best church.
Yeah,
But
they got
for the best community leader, the only time you can vote for it is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I think you can only make one vote per IP address.
Now this man is, in my opinion, too humble. And I got to tell you, it's a miracle that he's willing to come out and even talk about this, because he's so behind the scenes. When there's a tragedy, an emergency on the street, a murder, a shooting, a baby getting stolen, taken from the house, this man doesn't need to get up front on the news. He declines it. He declines it. There's nobody like him. And not only that, he needs money for It Takes a Village to sustain itself.
Takes a village, y'all.
It Takes a Village, y'all. Needs to go on, okay? He needs food and gas. Excuse me, but he does, okay? And we want to see him out. And Robert's he's on the Detroit Coalition Against Violence board. He's also with Minister Malik and I in Better Detroit Youth Movement with boarding up the houses. We're going to take a quick call. Good evening, you're on the air. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
What is the award for? Do you know?
For tomorrow,
Yes.
tomorrow's
The hoodie award, you said?
right. Steve
What is the hoodie
Harvey's
award?
hoodie awards, right?
But this is for excellence in community service in the whole country.
Okay,
Actu-
that's what I want.
Actually, it's for best community leader for the particular category tomorrow.
And Robert, really, there's some other great men here, but
You have a
please,
real good chance of winning. You know that.
we hope so.
Wow, thank you. I
Yeah, we-
appreciate
we-
it.
Humble as you are, but I like that.
Wow,
It's
thank
good
you.
to stay under the radar sometimes.
Well,
the way things are now.
I'm gonna share this with you if you don't mind. My whole thing is I used to run from awards because I felt like the work was in the streets, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I still do. The only reason why I'm accepting this award because my members, they nominated me for it, and I found that a lot of times they would tell me, Robert, stop running from the people who are trying to do things to help you or try to put you up front, because what I do is build resources. So I never know what type of connection I can make for somebody in our group. I might link up with somebody who can help us get more food for that family that we're passing out food for, or I may be able to get clothing, or somebody who's getting kicked out of their house, some housing resources. So when they explained it to me that way, that it wasn't about me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you in a minute, it's the people that stand behind me that make me seem so much smarter than what I am because of what they bring to the table. So all I do is, I may be the face of the page or the face of the group because I made it, but I'm nothing. And I'll say it to anybody, I'm nothing without the help of the people who bring what they can offer to the table to help me to do what I do.
Could you give me where do you go to vote?
I missed that.
What was your question?
What's the website to vote on?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this because I honestly don't know the website.
Give him your
But
number.
if you
Give my
go,
number.
if you go to, are you on Facebook at all?
Yeah.
If you go to my group page, the group page is called It Takes a
Village Y'all.
Village Y'all. Y'all is spelled Y''ALL. Just go right there and get on the page, and trust me, that's why my phone died, because everybody kept texting me to go look at what was being posted on the group page. But my members and actually my fellow villagers, they've been pushing it. But just go on there and check it out, and then you'll find me on there, Robert Louis Robinson II on there. And I'm gonna give out my phone number to people who may want to get on board with us to help, and that's 313-574-4757.
Five seven. Okay. So I'll go on that page and I'll get the information. I'll share it with my.
And tell your friends, please. Tell
Yeah,
all
I
your
have my
friends.
friends
Tell all
Yeah.
your friends where to go.
for you.
All right. I'm gonna say just really quick, for anybody who feels that they can help us or who we can help, please join the group.
He's gone. Thank you very much. We're going to sit here. We're going to take
All
a
right.
shot. Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Brad.
and good luck tomorrow. Vote for Robert Robinson, Steve Harvey Hoodie Awards. This is the man for community leadership right here. We'll be right back, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barry.
Short break.
Brothers, this is Brother I Am Broke, the Urban Explorer, with a very important message. Are you tired of abandoned, dangerous houses in your neighborhood? Well, no more. Help is on the way. The Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project will be having a fundraiser on Monday, June the 4th, 2012, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the McDonald's restaurant located at 14124 Woodward inside the city of Highland Park, Michigan. Special celebrity guest servers include Senator Coleman Young II, radio personality John Mason, and Kevin D. Lewis of itswebtv.com. All donations will be used to finance the boarding up of abandoned dangerous houses throughout the city of Detroit and Highland Park. And all donations are 100% tax deductible. The following organizations are a part of the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project: the New Marcus Garvey Movement / Black Panther Nation, the Detroit Coalition Against Violence, It Takes a Village, Y'all, True Oracles of God Ministries, and the Better Detroit Youth Movement. Please make checks payable to True Oracles of God Ministries, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan, 48221. For more information, call Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375.
All right, we're back live. We broadcast to you on TV 33, Comcast 20. Without any further delay, I have the one and only, look at the smile, Mr. Bill Hill. and I worked with your father.
Yep.
By the same name. I hope your dad's watching the show.
You know what?
now.
I don't know if he's watching, but if
Okay.
he's watching, Dad, I'm sitting here with your good friend Barry. You know what I'm saying? Barry, you are a wonderful pillar in the community. I was watching your show in the lobby, and you got some real informational stuff going on, just some real good stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a positive vibe when I listen to you, and that's a good thing to hear.
And now I want to get into like a funny kind of vibe. Have you been on Def Jam?
Did Def Jam 2 times. That's when Martin Lawrence was the host. Big shouts out to Russell Simmons for putting me on television. BET. Right now, I'm currently doing a little touring with Mike Epps.
I know who Mike
I'm
Epps
still
is.
standing. Yeah, I
Don't
know
let
you-
the face fool you.
Yeah, I know you. He done bought some clothes down at Sherman's. Who ain't
No,
got
he
clothes?
hasn't. He shopped at City Slicker.
Oh yeah, well it's
was
hard.
down
It's
there
in the
last
same
week. I
block.
think. Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so I've been working with him, and in the process of right now trying to start filming. I got 5 reality shows. I'm going to shoot the pilots for him here in Detroit. I think
Oh.
next month.
Hold on. 5 reality shows.
5 reality shows. Shoot the pilot. Eventually go ahead and make the pitches to the major networks, and get rich.
So we shouldn't even ask you what the content is about yet.
Well, no, it's kind of like confidential right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't put it out there because people be like, oh, I want to do me a show like that. You know what I'm saying? Then they probably got more money than me. They had a show done in 2 weeks. So we're going to hold on that, let them know. But it's 5 reality shows. My company is Script Dr. Penworks. And
Say that again.
Script Dr. Penworks.
Okay.
And I've been writing behind the scenes for a lot of people, stage play productions, like writing the comedy portions of a play and other people's lines. I've been doing that for a while, so
Don't pick your nose in church.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff,
Right.
you know. So I said, let me do my own thing, and I've been watching TV, and I've been seeing where they're going. So I got some stuff that people are gonna like. It's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be funny. I got some spiritual stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you guys this one other shows, but I can't.
That's
If
okay.
I do it, man, somebody will steal it, Barry. And I've had stuff stolen. You would not believe this. I was living in New York City 4 years ago, and me and my best friend is a chef named Chef Jeff Tony. We went to high school together. So we're in New York. We're in the apartment, right? And we're saying, let's write a reality show. This is gonna kill you. Write the reality show. It's called Next Celebrity Top Chef.
Oh,
Okay, we're in New York, so we got access to these, big wig people. So we had some people come over to the house from, they were like the producers from the Food Network. So the producer comes in, they're like, yeah, we need some more urban stuff on these cooking channels. 4 years ago they didn't have all these cooking stuff on TV.
sure.
So they're like,
Emerald.
we need some urban, some ethnicity, and so we did a 5-course meal for the producer, and they left. And when they left the apartment, they said, we're gonna get you guys a show. And so we're like, cool, yeah, they're gonna get us a show. So she goes back to the office downtown or whatever, and then they call us. They say, we want to make you guys an offer. Oh, we like, yes. I done went to the dealership and picked out the nice, pretty Benz. I done went and got clothes fitted. I done got the tuxedo, suits fitted, put down a layaway plan, you know what I'm saying? They say, we're going to give you an offer. Months go by, no call. Months go by, no call. We look up, we're watching TV one
God.
night, and we see Top Chef.
Oh my God.
Top Chef was written by me and my good friend, Chef Jeff
Oh,
Tony.
I'm so sorry.
And because our show was called Next Celebrity Top Chef. They cut off Next Celebrity and just used Top Chef. But it let me know that the things that I'm writing are good because I'm on the same wavelength of the people that want to spend the money for quality TV. So, but they stole my show, so that's why I can't really tell you anything about these.
Now you're learning. You've been
these
around.
facts. And then we didn't have a lawyer. We just call down there and cuss them out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dang, well, they got that one. So,
But for the young brothers and sisters
Yeah.
out here, entertainment world is a business.
Business.
And a lot of young guys now
yeah.
are managing themselves.
Yep.
And so many managers have raped the entertainers.
Oh,
Most
God.
of the big rappers today own their own works, own their masters. Ray
Yeah.
Charles started this.
Yep.
Ray Charles, you need to own your property.
Exactly.
And you need to be careful what you're signing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these young guys got an entourage, a following that just costs too much to maintain.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing, traveling with Mike Epps, I've noticed like his camp is very small. It's very professional, and there's no drama. There's no big entourage, no bunch of women following us and all that.
Right,
None of that
right,
stuff
right,
is real
right.
professional, and everything is on a time schedule. And it's just a good thing. But you said it's a show business. The show is one thing, the business part is another. You have to get your business together because there are productions out here right now traveling the country, not even paying the cast. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get it in writing, and when you get it in writing, make sure it's official. Because all entertainers, all we want to do is entertain and perform, but we do want to be compensated for our talents.
Absolutely.
Don't take for granted that we want to get on stage so bad that we'll
Sell your soul.
forego the money. Yeah, I'm not selling my soul. I'll wait and I'll go behind the scenes and write and produce and direct something before I get screwed over on
Creative
stage.
control.
Yeah, creative control is important.
Listen, I'm on the streets, community activism, what have you. And a couple of years ago, I'll make this quick. A news correspondent came here from England, and she contacted me first, and I was really green with this organization stuff.
Right.
But I figured out she only found me because my organization, Detroit Coalition Against Violence, has the word violence in it. So she must have Googled violence in Detroit.
Wow.
So wait. So she comes to Detroit. I brought her to this station. The chief of police was getting interviewed by Minister Shabazz. The Detroit 300 was doing a patrol for the East Side serial rapist. This guy had raped 7 women. I took her on this. She couldn't have asked for anyone better. I took her all in one night. She's in my car with me. We're done patrolling. She's and my secretary at the time wanted to be secretary. We were sitting on the car together, and the girl, she taps me on the shoulder, she's in the back, said, "Barry, are you gay?" No, wait. Now she said this to me because I didn't hit on her. And getting back to what you're saying, I don't do everything in my organization I want people to respect me.
Yeah.
When I'm on the street, I don't go knocking on doors and then go back later on and say, you were fine and all this. I just want to know, can we get together?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful what you do,
You
who
definitely
you
do.
hang with,
Yep.
and what you say.
The company you keep, you know what I'm saying, they can hurt you. I was looking at something, Barry. I know this is up your alley. I read in the paper that said in 5 days there were 8 people killed and 33 people shot in Detroit. In 5 day span, that's 38 people shot.
Wait a minute.
8 killed.
Excuse me. 30 were just murdered in Chicago in one day this weekend. Someone came in my store and told me today.
Are you serious?
We got a couple minutes. We're running behind, but let's give the people that are watching a little bit of your material. Could we just do what kind of style do you really have? Some guys
You know
talk
what?
about themselves.
My stuff is kind of hardcore, Barry. This is a PG station. I don't know.
Well, talk about me. Let's say I'm sitting. Let's say you got an all. Do you ever do any race thing?
I don't really do any race stuff.
You could do it on me.
Just
You
do
could
it.
do it. You could
Hey,
do
hold
it
on. This guy's crazy.
You could do it. You could do it on me.
No, I'm gonna tell you, the stuff I talk about is really like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Just
Okay.
real ordinary stuff. Stuff like, I got a simple, clean joke. Like, how many people have ever been in your car and you're on your way home and you got to pee real bad? Okay? And the closer you get to your house,
The worse
the
you
more
gotta
you
go.
got to go.
Right.
The house can be right there, 3 feet away from you. All you want to do is get out your car and put your key at the door real smooth and run up in the house.
Yeah, and pee might be
Right.
not the only thing you got to.
But look, it don't never happen like that. You want to run up to the door, put the key in real smooth, and run in the house. You done dropped the dang on keys.
Right.
Then you got to kick the keys to the door. You put the key in there and turn it, click. Somebody done locked the doggone top lock, Barry.
Anything
Who
can
locked
go
the top
wrong.
lock?
That's right.
So now you got to stand outside, and the nosy neighbor across the street want to come out and talk to you. Miss Johnson, she got all something to say to you. So I just grabbed a sprinkler off the grass and just pointed it at my pants and just went on and did what I had to do.
There you
Barry.
go. All right.
Hey!
What else you got? Or where are you going to be?
You know
Are
what?
You're
I got-
around. You got a gig tonight.
I got
you
some
said.
shows. I got some shows coming up, Barry. I'm doing June 7th. I'm doing Bert's Place.
Very close.
Yeah,
with Bert.
yeah. Doing Bert's Place a Thursday once a month down there. The name of the show is Funny as Hell Thursdays. The first Thursday of every month down at Bert's Place. And right now I'm just working on the reality shows, man, because I'm getting older and I don't really have time to play the games and jump through a million hoops for nothing. So I'm going to go behind the scenes and take care of these projects, and hopefully, we'll get them out, distributed properly through the networks, and I can sit back and just take care of my
Yeah,
family.
you want to
man.
get paid on the shows.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting paid. I already worked that out, you know what I'm saying? And really, it's just stuff on TV now is garbage. I'm going to just keep it real. It's garbage on TV. They got some shows on there. See, people thought reality was going to be just a fad. Reality is a cheap way to make big money. It might cost $100,000 to do one show, but you'll make money off that. So it's so people want to see regular people. They want to see real people. If you had a reality show, you'd probably blow up, just because of the way you talk and the way you act. You know how hey, come on, yeah, what's going? They love that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the guy from Hardcore Pawn. Some people love him. And he's a regular
him.
Detroit guy.
We are talking about it. Les Gold. We are talking about him. All right, give him your contact information. We gotta go.
My contact information is, follow me on Facebook at Bill Hill. Follow me on Twitter at Bill Hill 1966. My email address is billhillentertainment@hotmail.com. I still use Hotmail. It's free. Everybody uses Gmail, but I don't really I don't go with everybody go with.
I never heard of an email that really costs. You said it's free.
Yeah. But then, Hotmail is like one of the first cheapest ones. It's almost like having a Metro. Big shouts out to everybody with a Metro PCS that dropped it in the water and tried to take it back and try to get another phone.
That just happened to someone here today. All right, are you for hire?
I'm for hire, man. Contact me, man. Bill here if you need a comedian for anything. I just did hosted a wedding the other day. My buddy Cleo got married, hosted a wedding, and the funniest thing in the world is when the preacher said, okay, he said the vows, and they said, I do. He said, I do. She said, I do. They turned around, and guess what song they played when they walked down the aisle? Young Jeezy. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. That was crazy.
All right, Kevin Lewis in the house. All right,
Kev.
we're gonna come right back. Sit here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I'm so
Love you, Barry.
I'm disappointed. I want
No,
you to come back.
I just had, even though I got something to do, I said, you know what? I'm gonna pay my respects to Barry because you're not just a radio host. You're real good friends with my dad. You know what I'm saying?
I love your dad.
And I have to pay
And-
respect to my elders.
and Marlene.
Yes, and Grandma Marlene.
And Grandma Marlene. All right, we're going to be right back
Yes.
with Callie Bradford. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
I am Broke, the Urban Explorer, with a very important message. Are you tired of abandoned, dangerous houses in your neighborhood? Well, no more. Help is on the way. The Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project will be having a fundraiser on Monday, June the 4th, 2012, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the McDonald's restaurant located at 14124 Woodward inside the city of Highland Park, Michigan. Special celebrity guest servers include Senator Coleman Young II, radio personality John Mason, and Kevin D. Lewis of itswebtv.com. All donations will be used to finance the boarding up of abandoned, dangerous houses throughout the city of Detroit and Highland Park. And all donations are 100% tax deductible. The following organizations are a part of the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project: the New Marcus Garvey Movement / Black Panther Nation, the Detroit Coalition Against Violence, It Takes a Village, Y'all, True Oracles of God Ministries, and the Better Detroit Youth Movement.
I've been great. I have not cheated. Good evening. I was just talking about I'm losing weight to this beautiful lady sitting next to me, Miss Callie Bradford, and I appreciate you coming to the show.
Thank you for
And-
having me,
and
Barry.
she has
Appreciate
beautiful
you.
hands. This lady here is a certified physical trainer, certified nutritionist,
Yes.
and you have this great children's organization, Next Generation Fit Kids. You're interested, you're committed to reversing the epidemic of children's obesity in Detroit.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about that and move a little closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Okay. We want you to be heard more than viewed, although she's beautiful to look at. All right, so let's tell them what you got and what's happening and any events coming up or about your organization.
Okay. All right. As you've already stated, our whole goal is to reverse the epidemic of childhood obesity. As you mentioned earlier in your show, our children are eating a lot of junk food, tons of fast food, and they're sitting at home in front of their computers, playing video games, not outside like we used to be,
Sure.
playing until the street lights come on at night. And
Right.
therefore, they're not as fit as they used to be. Not to mention the fact that we no longer have gym or PE mandatory in schools
Sad.
anymore.
Right.
And it is very sad. And so what happens is that's one of the first things to be cut in our schools. And so therefore the kids don't get, not only the 30 minutes that they need or the 60 minutes, but they're not getting any physical education. So you couple that with, sedentary lifestyle, the bad food, and not getting any exercise, you've got an epidemic on our hands. And if we don't do something to change it now, we talk about violence, which is, obviously, your charge, and it's really, really important. But the way our kids are going right now with the obesity, we won't have any children around to help with our economy to be able to work because those kids will be on disability. I mean, you've got 8 and 9-year-olds that are being diagnosed with adult diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular, and hypertension. And, the medications that are out for those types of disease states
Expensive.
are very expensive,
And hard to get.
but also they're for adults. So how do you treat a kid that's 8 years old that's got, cardiovascular disease? So, again, our charge is to prevent them from getting to that point.
And would we presume that there's a major increase in children's diabetes over the last 20 years, like many fold?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the latest statistics that are out says 1 in 4 children by 2020 will actually type 2 diabetes.
And most of this diabetes is really caused by.
Well, bad eating type 2 could be caused by bad eating by and large, probably about 95% of it.
And what is bad eating? What constitutes bad eating?
I would say not eating whole foods. So you had the doctor on earlier that talked about, the importance of eating foods that are closer in nature. So lots of vegetables, fruit, lean proteins, not fried, chicken and fish and things like that.
Fast food is killing us.
Fast food, well, fast food, again, coupled with a sedentary lifestyle, obviously is going to be a challenge.
And you know
And the
what?
junk food, you mentioned that earlier, the chips and the sodas. I mean, the sugar content in sodas these days is just ridiculous. So,
And kids that it's nothing out of the extraordinary to see a kid drinking a 40-ounce pop.
absolutely. I actually
32.
saw a kid, she couldn't have been no more than 6 years old, on the playground the other day. She was on the playground, so that's a good thing. But she had a super big gulp, and she couldn't have been no more than 6, and I was mortified. And, and the parent, she was there too, and she had one, and she was overweight. So, again, we have to do something about it at the level where the kids are able to learn. I always say, you had the guy on from It Takes a Village, Robert Johnson.
Robert Robinson.
Robert Robertson. And, I always say it's easier to train up a child the way you want him to go than it is to change an adult, right?
Oh, no, there's no question.
Yeah.
It's one thing that nutrition and exercise is out the window.
Mm-hmm.
But how does a mother or a father or an uncle at a barbecue give a 9-month-old baby spare ribs
Yeah.
or a piece of chicken? I mean,
Right.
the baby isn't ready for that kind of food yet. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Or 2 pieces of pizza loaded with hamburger and bacon
Absolutely. So, some of it
and
is
a pop.
absolutely. Now, some of it is socioeconomic. We kind of give our children what we have available. But then a lot of it is education and what we are used to and what we see. So it's generational. I mean, you go through generation after generation. I mean, I'm not one that's not been privy to, eating bad food. I haven't always lived a healthy
Right.
lifestyle by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, my grandmother was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes years and years ago. Bless her soul, she's gone on now. But at 9 years old, I had to be able to give her insulin. Because
God.
yeah, absolutely.
This was who? Your aunt?
My grandmother.
Your
It was my
grandmother.
grandmother. So that
Was
was
no one else around to give her insulin?
well, my aunt was the only one that was her caregiver, and so my aunt said, in case I'm not around, I've got to be at work or whatever, I need you to be able to give her insulin in case she's in trouble. So I think that kind of started my path. I always say everything is divine intervention.
All right, let's say
Yeah.
a child.
Hmm.
I presume that the cancer rate, especially in Detroit, my business is, I'm appalled at the amount of people that come in my store that lost a mother or father to cancer.
Absolutely.
But children contracting leukemia, cancer.
Sure.
It's one thing to get it, but poor nutrition on top of an illness
Absolutely.
like this only aggravates it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because your body, you need healthy food, like I said, vegetables and fruit to be able to regenerate your cells. And cancer actually feeds on bad
Thank you.
food
Thank
and
you.
sugary foods and fried foods, things that are high in saturated fat and cooked in a lot of grease. Your body can't recover from that. So what the cancer does, it feeds on it and it grows.
Could you say that the cancer is craving these foods to make it grow? I mean, doesn't it have its own intelligence, so to speak?
Absolutely.
Doesn't every molecule in our body have its own intelligence?
Absolutely.
So maybe these cancers feed and need this.
They feed on the bad food. So actually, there is a great restaurant in the city of Detroit in the Midtown area that I love to go to. It's called the Raw Cafe, and there's a nice story. You
On
should have her
Palmer?
on your
Is this
show.
on Palmer?
Actually, it's on Woodward. It's on Woodward.
She's new.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
very
I would
new.
love to have her on my
You
show.
should have her on
The
your
Raw
show.
Cafe.
The Raw Cafe. Yeah, there's a
Thank
plug
you.
for the Raw Cafe.
Do you know her well?
I don't know her, but I did read an expose about her, and she was actually diagnosed with cancer. She was in stage 4. She did some reading, which really education is key, right, in terms of trying to get healthy and
Sure.
learning what you need to do. But she did some reading and some internet searching, and she actually went on a raw food diet, so all healthy foods that are natural in nature, and she cured herself of cancer.
Let's take a call. I don't want to miss this.
Sure.
Good evening. You're on the air with Callie Bradford. How are you? Could you speak up, sir? Hello?
I
Hey, we
think we
lost
lost
him.
her.
Okay. So people hear this.
Yes,
There are too many supermarkets in Detroit.
sure,
How about there's hardly any?
right,
And if you're living a lot of these areas, when we talk about having a Whole Food store, so what? That's one store.
mm-hmm,
People are relegated to shopping at the liquor stores,
right,
and a lot of people don't have adequate transportation, so they can't travel.
absolutely.
Is it expensive to have your own garden?
Not expensive at all. I hear people, talk all the time, well, it's too expensive for me to eat healthy, but in actuality, when you look at the overall cost, it's less expensive to buy fruits and vegetables. And the other part of it is it's much more expensive to be on medication for the rest of your life.
But how about a garden?
A community garden would be great. In fact, there are organizations like the Greening of Detroit, for example, that can help people with community gardens. And really, fresh vegetables is the way to go. And I'm also a fan of Eastern Market, too. I go to Eastern Market every weekend to get fruit and vegetables. And, I mean, really, if you go at the end of the day, you can get, a week's worth of vegetables and fruit that lasts you for the entire week for your family for less than $20.
But people say, but they don't have the taste.
They don't have the taste.
They don't
yes.
have the taste. It's bland.
Right.
Like man, I can't call myself vegetarian anymore because I eat chicken and fish. But what you could even do, that people don't know, tofu.
Yes.
We're not necessarily talking about tofu, but
Right.
you can grill vegetables.
Yes.
You can, put spices on them. There's
Absolutely.
books you can get
Mm-hmm.
to make it more exciting and
Right.
interesting.
Right. I cook it with a lot of garlic, a lot of bell pepper, green onion, white onion, and it actually makes, vegetables taste very, very good. And so there are many ways that you can do it. You can grill it, broil it, steam it on the stove. Don't overcook it, people out there.
That's
Because
another
when you
issue.
overcook it, then you cook all the nutrients out of the food.
And
but,
and how high should we cook? Is it relative?
it's
Yeah,
relative to
we don't need to cook anything for 4 hours in the way of vegetables.
no.
Tell them about garlic. What's garlic good for?
Garlic is good for many health issues that people experience. In fact, cancer being one of them. And I cook with garlic almost every day. And
Skin,
Yeah.
circulation,
absolutely, absolutely.
circulatory.
hmm
Okay.
Metabolic processes is very good for you.
All right, let's tell them about your organization and what you do
Yeah.
and how you incorporate this. And thank you.
Sure, absolutely. So, Next Generation Fit Kids, right now, what we do is partner with organizations, and we get a lot of contract work. So, we're working with Health and Heritage Works. We've worked with the American Heart Association, American Diabetes Association, the McKinney Foundation, and they contract with us to come out. Vanguard is another group that we've worked with.
Scott Davis
Yeah,
again.
yeah, absolutely. They contract with us to come out and work with their kids. And, really it's about play. It's about making it fun because you don't want to have the children thinking like, oh, exercise is, grueling and I don't want to do this. So, we play old school games like Duck, Duck, Goose, and we just get them out having fun. We have
Double
hula hoop
Dutch.
relays, double dutch.
That's the only one
absolutely.
I'm going to know.
Yeah, all the stuff that the kids know and love from back in the day. So we like to make it fun. We keep it fun. We keep it really, really exciting. You got to have high energy when you're dealing with children, right? To keep keep them engaged
Motivate, yeah.
and motivated.
They
And then
get bored quick.
they get bored quick. So we do about a half an hour of physical activity, and then we also incorporate nutrition.
Okay, are you having any events coming up, or on a daily basis? Are you a functioning entity with this?
On a daily
Is
basis.
there a building, a facility? Or?
Right. We don't have a building. So anything that we do right now, we count on funds from the community. We do fundraisers, and we are a certified 501c3 nonprofit organization. So any donations that are made to the organization are tax deductible. But we count on the community and, like I said, contract work. So we don't have a building. We want to put all of our money toward the kids and doing programs. So that's the most important
I
thing.
want to invite you out to our fundraiser to Network Monday if you have that ability.
Absolutely.
And I want to work with you closer. And I'm going to tell you, I filed for 501c, and one of my goals is to get a building and put in 6 to 10 like-minded organizations
Sure.
that are passionate about the community, rent-free.
That's
And
amazing.
let's take, when it happens, it'll be amazing. Good evening. Hello. How are you?
Oh, hello. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is John Price.
Hi, John.
I want to answer the question. Didn't get a street where the Raw Cafe is located,
Okay.
and it's at Woodward and Willis,
Okay, know right where that is.
Thank you.
over near the medical center.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Is
Yeah,
it-
right on the down the street from the
Well, I know where
Rolling
Woodward and
Alley.
Willis is. How about a phone number for me? Or the
I
name of
don't
the
have
owner?
the phone number.
Pardon me?
I don't have the phone number.
Okay. All right. Do you have another question, or is that it?
No, just passing that information on.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Oh, Barry.
Yes.
Barry.
Hello?
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah.
The young lady that owns that shop had been on TV 33 once before talking about the type of foods that she has. She's been on 33 once before.
Well, that's okay. We share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. You're on the air with Callie Bradford. How are you? Hello? I lost him.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, we're tied in with the Better Detroit Youth Movement.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
I have not.
June 29th at Burt's,
Mhm.
they're having a major job fair. They expect over 1,000 people. In September, they're giving away $20 to $40 million worth of scholarships.
Okay.
And they joined up with us in boarding up the houses. I've given young people a chance. They've interned on my show.
Mm-hmm.
I've given time, but we want to work. The youth is our future.
Absolutely.
And I had a troubled past, so kids mean a lot to me. But
Mm-hmm.
let's give them some contact information.
Sure.
How to get a hold of you, or do you do one-on-one training?
We do one-on-one.
Excuse me.
We do consultations. In fact, I'm working with several parents right now who are kind of at their wits' end with their children who, again, fit that profile that I talked to you about earlier that, are young, 9, 10, and 11, who have a lot of health issues already, who are overweight and starting to get teased at school. And, the parents said, I need help. Someone at church just told me Sunday, she said, I really need help with my grandson. I don't know what to do. So yes, we absolutely do one-on-one
You
consultations.
know what I'm curious about?
Mm-hmm.
Are parents, grandparents, even willing to take the slightest amount of responsibility? They feed these kids.
Right.
So it starts when they're babies.
It starts when they're
like
babies.
I am in a clothing store.
Okay.
Excuse me. They come into my store, and all of a sudden they realize that because the kid is so heavy, the young boy, their prices are more money.
Right.
And they go, boy, you going on a diet. And I said, you need to take a look at how you feed this kid.
Right.
You're going to run around the playground 4 times and lose
Right.
weight.
Right.
It's the parents.
Right. But culturally, a lot of times, what I found in teaching parents is that they don't know what they don't know. So it's about, again, education. And so that's why organizations like Next Generation Fit Kids are so important. And more support is important so we can begin to get the word out to people because it's generational, again, and people, they are stuck in their habits and the old ways of thinking and doing things. And so if that's all you know is
I
sugary
hear
diet.
you, and I think that's very compassionate.
Yeah.
But check this out.
Yes.
Once a kid is 20 or 30 pounds overweight,
Yeah.
and you're feeding this kid proportions that adults should have, and they keep going up,
Right.
what's the point where you realize that they're
Enough is
heavy
enough.
now? Yeah,
Right.
enough is enough. Okay, they're 30 pounds overweight, now they're 50.
Right.
Now they're 100 pounds overweight.
Sure.
I mean, they see this happening.
Right.
So we could chalk it up, it's a generational whatever, or they can't stop.
Mhm.
It really, to me, is a form of abuse.
Yeah, I agree to a certain degree for sure. I
It's sad.
absolutely agree. Yep.
Why give a 9-month-old baby 2 pieces of pizza?
Right.
But you say they don't know. I hear you.
Yeah.
But I just see it. They think it's cute.
Yeah.
They're at a barbecue. Oh, look at old Ray. Look at him. Isn't he cute?
Yeah.
He just ate a half a pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not right by any stretch of the imagination. They don't realize that they're killing their children.
That's right.
And really, for the first time, it's all over the news. Everybody knows about it. That our children won't outlive their parents,
That's
which is
terrible.
very sad.
Listen, now I'm not equating the human life with an animal, but if I have a dog,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like to give my dog human food.
Sure.
I don't give a dog chocolate and bread. There's certain things you should do.
Right.
So I give my dog. I go to someone's house and, man, you're You walk him. No, he play out in the yard.
Right.
Let's take another call.
Sure.
Good evening. Hello, how are you? Hello? Okay.
Good evening, Barry.
Good evening. Minister, how are you? We got about a minute.
I know you do, and good evening to your beautiful guest.
Thank you.
Minister Malik Shabazz.
Well, look, I won't hold you. Just, getting back to the fundraiser,
Go for it.
June 4th. In the news, they're reporting on the west side, I don't know the name of the street, that a dead body, was found in the middle of two abandoned houses, in the little walkway of two abandoned houses that's filled with tires and debris and trash or whatnot. So I just thought that just reinforces what it is we're trying to do.
Tell him
out
where it is,
here.
Malik. Tell him about it real quick. Go.
June 4th, 3 to 7 p.m. at the McDonald's on Woodward in Highland Park. Fundraiser, the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project, several great grassroots community organizations coming together to board up these abandoned, dirty, dangerous, open, abandoned houses. We have over 100,000 in our city. These houses are used for rape. These houses are used for selling drugs. These houses are used as launching pads for robbing our women, our elders, our children. They're used as smokehouses, and they're also used as storage places. Oftentimes, your 52-inch plasma high-definition TV that's stolen out of your house is right around the corner inside of an abandoned house. So that's why we're doing what we do. All roads lead to McDonald's, June 4th, 3 to 7 p.m. on Woodward in Highland Park.
Mr. Shabazz,
Yes.
are we making any money on this at all?
No.
Where's all the money going?
The money is going on the equipment, on the wood, on the nails. We're not making a dime of this. So far, we have boarded up 16 of these God-forsaken places out of pocket. And we want to continue to do it, but we cannot in perpetuity do this out of pocket. The city of Detroit, which is in a virtual state of collapse, been taken over, descent agreement by the governor, is not providing city services. You know, you call the police, they don't come. And you can't go to the police station anymore and get in. The fire people ain't coming. The EMS isn't coming. The grass is 5.5 feet tall in vacant fields and parks and whatnot. The city is shut down.
Don't
They're
forget
not
the
providing
garbage.
services.
Don't forget the trash, Malik.
If
Don't
we're going to survive, we got to do it ourselves.
All right. Okay.
Okay, peace.
Thank you very much. You know I love you. Peace. All right, that's it
All right.
for this week's show. Callie, we got 30 seconds. Just give them your contact information again.
Absolutely. You can contact Callie Bradford at 586-944-8798. We have a website, www.nextgenerationfitkids, all one word.org. And you can follow us on Twitter at NGFitKids. And also we have a Facebook, Next Generation Fit Kids. So thank you so much for
I
having
don't
us.
know who's more beautiful, you or Erica Badu. I look at you and I see baby Erica Badu. I want to
Thanks,
tell
baby.
you that we, Minister and I and my friends, I could say, we want to work with you. We're going to, in the future, soon,
That would
we
be
want to do
awesome.
what we can for kids. And it's safe to say the minister, we're also busy, but we want to network with you and help you.
That
so
would be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
And-
having
and-
me.
And that's it for this week's show. We'll see you next week, Monday, June 4th, at the Manchester McDonald's. Show up. Eat something. If you don't want to eat, donate. This is our city. Let's act like it. Thank
Yep.
you very much. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Barry.
next week. Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m., join me, Barry Ross, mixing it up on TV 33.